Okay, I was sending data here to YouTube. What the hell happened? What the hell? How much time did this? Son of a... Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. So apparently YouTube was not streaming anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the... Luckily, I'm recording it to my computer. What the hell was going on? So where did you guys... Is this literally all that you saw? This is all that's on this stream. Are you kidding me, YouTube? I hit go live and it was processing the data. All right. So luckily I record, so I'm going to stop the recording, restart it, and then I'll be in chat. So I'm going to pull up the recording here. Jesus Christ. I hate this new YouTube system. It is such a pain. Okay, so luckily I record this, so you guys will be able to see what I just did, because this is stupid. Yep, here it is. Okay, well, let me add this as a media thing here. So let me change this. God, this is a pain in the ass. Add, and I'll be on the mic here. So you guys can watch this, and then once we get to where it recorded, I'll come back. So I'll be here talking on the mic while I'm talking over myself, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Hang on, VLC source, new source, add source, hang on, add files. Well, at least I record all my stuff, so you guys are not missing out. All right. So let me do, and I'll be able to pause too, so I'm setting this up so I can pause. Okay, so let's do this. All right, transition. The question is, can I speed up the playback? No, I can't, so this is gonna be a pain. YouTube. Make Tim angry. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do this. I'm literally just gonna pull up the video file, full screen it, and then God forbid something goes right. Pull the video file, full screen it, and we're gonna get an echo. We don't want an echo. All right, so I'm going to hide my face here and the cam overlay, full screen this, and capture the desktop audio. Wait, that's the wrong one. There we go. There we go. All right, so I can fast forward. I was on a call. I thought it was streaming, because here I actually queued it up. I was on a call ordering some power supplies, and all right, so here we go. All right, let's see here. Where's my little music? There we go. Let's fade it out. Look at that. All done. All right, sorry about that. I literally had the stream scheduled, and one of my vendors called me back, and they were like, "Yeah, we can match some pricing here." So I was like, "Let's do it," because I need power supplies for everybody, and just dropped like 10 grand on a bunch of Meanwhile power supplies, so we have them for you guys. So, yeah, let me, so real quick, the Tim that's right here, this is me live right now. Jesus Christ. Let me get into this here. So I got two ABL boards or not ABL boards, let's keep going. I'm just closing out a million tabs I have open. Let me pop up my chat so I can see you guys here. Let me close all this crap out.
That's your
so
box,
many
Ray.
windows from the day. Jesus. So I've got two EZBoards here that the I guess the guy told me on one of the machines, I guess wiring rubbed through on the bed and sent 20. Now I'm gonna switch over to my headset so I can actually listen to my audio. Desktop audio, hang on. I apologize for this, guys. I didn't realize it wasn't actually streaming like it was supposed to. Hang on. Desktop audio. Why is this not letting me click the settings? The hell? Come on. Jesus, can like one thing go right? Oh. Input capture. Wait. They probably changed it. Desktop audio device. Alright, here we go. Let's see. Is this going to work now? Right into that input. There we go. It's not reading correctly anymore, which means we're going to have to replace the CPU. And then the other one was the old wire brush to the hot end. And that's no longer reading correctly. So got two CPU replacements and an Ender 2 board that's one of ours. That one of our, I don't know if this is the one that they wired backwards and I tried fixing. No, it's not. This is just one where the regulator, the 5-volt regulator died. And I luckily have another step-down board that has the same LM2596 chip on it. I tried using... Now, I've already replaced this once, but what I didn't realize was the chip I had was a 5-volt variant instead of the adjustable variant. For some reason, Creality uses the adjustable variant of the LM2596 on the Ender 2s, and I didn't realize it. So it worked for a little bit, but then it gave up the ghost. So the original one died. I tried using a 2596 I had on hand here from some other random board. And because it wasn't the right variant, it didn't last. So I'm going to put the correct part on this time and then fix the EZBoards here for our customers. And I might have more. I don't know how many. I should be able to get through these three here. So let me heat up my iron. And my fume extractor and get the hot air gun turned on here. So let me show you guys what we're working with. Here we go. Looks like I'm pretty zoomed in on here, so let me adjust this because we do not need to be in this close. So if we look on the board here, so this is the Ender 2 board. This was one. See, it says 5 on there, and then P+. That should have been an ADJ chip. And I forgot that these come in multiple variants. So I've got a little buck boost converter here, and there's an ADJ on here. So we're going to take this ADJ off of here and put it onto this board so our Ender 2 can get back up and running. So let's see here. I'll chat. Let me move chat over. Let me move my video preview over here so I can see that you guys can see what I'm working on. I have the cam arm here, so let me bring this down. And get it to a position where it's not going to be in my way. So yeah, I'll reply to you guys in chat, and then we'll resume this once we get. All right, so let me lock that in, and turn on my fill light here. I thought I was talking to you guys this entire time. I didn't realize YouTube screwed up. Doesn't really seem to make a difference because I got a lot of sunlight coming in here, which is good. So, you can see I've got my little step down board here. The first thing I'm going to do is get this guy off here. So, I'm going to grab my hot air. Which, funny thing is, this, I like this little station, but the 5015 fan that actually pushes the air through is already starting to fail. So, I'm just going to put one of ours in there. So let me just get the heat over this. I also have a new Hako iron coming in about a week. So we're going to see how well their new ones work. Because the one I'm using is the FX888D. And it's a really nice iron. But it's the older style where the heater is not actually in the tip. And the new one I have coming is their new direct heat style, so it should be a lot easier, especially with boards where there's higher copper content. But one of the other things is, let's see, there we go. That was easy. One of the other things is it'll be good for even doing beds because it's 125 watts. And I also ordered their desoldering gun, so I'm excited to try that out because I have friends that have it, and it's like a $200 soldering gun, but they all rave about it. So we'll see how well it works. But I'm just gonna hit this here. This guy has no idea what he's doing at all. No idea. Look at him. Look at it. He's soldering completely wrong. There's a million better ways to do this. He has no clue what he's doing at all. No idea. Who does this idiot think he is? Look at him with his stupid beard. And his bald spot. I use Chip Quick. I got a whole box of it. Look at this peasant using solder wick. If he ran a real company, he'd have an actual desoldering gun. And there's some flux residue on here. Now, I do use, anytime we do any repairs or prototype work, we always use no clean flux, which is supposedly safe to leave on the board. It's not going to eat away at things like the cheaper stuff will. So, but I do like to clean off the boards. So if you guys ever have anything repaired from us, we have all the solder we use that's rosin core, as all no clean flux, and the actual bare flux we use is no clean flux as well. So he's just trying to justify why he's too lazy. All right, so I see that one pad is kind of deformed, but that looks like that's the ground pad. So on these 2596s, you got your voltage input, your voltage out, your ground, and then we got some sense pads here for like controlling the actual output. I can't remember which one's like the feedback loop and which one is a control, but if you look at the data sheet for the 2596, you'll see those. Now, what's weird to me is on a working board, I tested the voltage coming out here, and it's just keeping it at 12 volts. So even if you put like 24 in here, this is feeding out 12, which I'm assuming is to go to this regulator under here, which is interesting because their other boards don't have an adjustable 2596. It's weird, and the schematic's not available for this, so I don't know their logic for it, but this is required to power the processor. But I know the processor gets power from here because there's a 5-volt there's a little 5-volt regulator underneath here. So that's ready for the new chip. Now I want to put some flux on here and then heat this up. Let's get that all in here. So hopefully it'll flow in and help us get this off the board easier. This scope camera actually looks pretty sharp. Yeah, I thought I was talking to you guys this entire time. I didn't realize YouTube was screwing up. And I'm gonna actually take a bunch of other parts off of this too. So once this ends, what do we got? Another, I don't know, 6 or 7 minutes. Then we'll go actual live. I'm glad I record these. You know, if I didn't have this recorded, I can even get this cap off here. The scope and camera was like, I think $400. Not bad. I really only care about the $25.96 for this stream. I can get the cap off later. Also, just come off. Also, Samantha calls me at some point, so I'll skip it. Trying to get in here with these tweezers, though, is kind of a pain. Let's see, I'm just going to hold it by here, so once it hits temp, it should just fall. There we go. Let's see, can I get this SMD cap off here? Yep, there we go. Now let's just strip the board. How's that? I'm just gonna skip this because it's boring. And this, I was just pulling parts off. All right, here. So let's. You can clean it off if you want. There we go. But it's really not gonna matter. The flux will actually help with the resoldering. So, I'm gonna go ahead and put some solder paste on these pads here and a little bit on here. Come on, grab the pad. There you go. And I'll touch these up with the iron anyways. And then our stuff's gonna solder right around here, so. So if you guys notice, I actually look at the screen while I'm using the scope because it's actually easier to see. Solder up on that pad there. Okay. I'm gonna clean my little tweezers off here. Look at that. Pretty good. Maybe just bump it over just a little bit. There we go. All right. Go ahead and hit it with the refloat. Or the hot air, I should say. Yeah, it's getting all melty. Okay, so I am going to touch those up with the iron. And for some reason, Samantha's calling me yet again. So give me 1 second. And let me skip to this. And that's where I realized processing the data. Yeah, so here. Okay. So she's telling me that YouTube is not streaming. This is where I realize, you see, I'm like checking it. Okay, I was sending data here. I thought you guys were watching because you're saying stuff like very cool and whatnot. Well, what the hell happened? Streaming anything. What the hell? How much time did this? So anyways, son of a, Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. So apparently YouTube was not streaming. Yeah, so that's where we are. And let me get rid of the live Tim and put my overlay back to where it's supposed to be. Oh, God. Oh, I screwed it up. Hang on. There we go. Okay. So, now we can go back to the scope cam and I can pick up where that recording went. So yeah. Anyways, thanks YouTube. At least I'm able to adapt quickly. So I am going to touch up the legs here. They're probably making contact. Iron cords are all tangled up. Okay, so they're probably making contact, but I like to just touch these up. They're large enough. Oh, let me get in there. Press down on them. That one I don't need it done. This is the ground, so it's going to go. How this guy. Go. More solder. Alright. Not the prettiest, but see if it works. Those quick. Alright. Those are probably soldered, but I just like the visual confirmation of it being on the top. So, where's my Ender 2 LCD? Here it is. Let's see if this converter will bring this back to life. All right. Right, we're going to do 12 volts on. Positive is closest to 596. Let's see. Hey, look at that. Cool. All right. So that board's all working again. Now, that was the easy one. The fun ones are the CPU replacements when you buy them. So, let's get this on here and we're going to do the same stuff that I usually do. Bust out the chip quick. All right. I don't have 55-gallon drums of flux, so I can't go to Lewis Rossman levels here. Coffee. All right. Go ahead and get our low melting point solder on here. All spread around. Covering all the pins, work it in. Go. All right. Oh no, I burned a little bit of the LCD header. No, that usually gets nicked. No matter how many times I try, doesn't affect it. That, that, that. That goes in the trash. All right. I love watching Lewis. Talk bad about my boy. That low melting point stuff off the pads here. You want to go with the direction of the pads typically. I want to drag it like sideways. More likely to damage stuff that way. Alright, let me get off my front. Also, I do not realize why I still have my headphones on because I'm not listening to myself.
Powering off.
There we go. Alright. So, I do like to clean this flux off. This is the stuff that comes with the chip quick. They say it's no clean, but... Or at least the vendor I get mine from says it's no clean, but... whatever. Go ahead and clean that up. Got my Kimtech wipes. Tech wipes are great. All right, look at that. We got clean, no pads lifted. We're looking good. All right. So we're gonna hit this with the heat gun once I get the CPU on here just to get it set, and then we'll. Oh no, that came out way too fast. Oh no. It's fine. I'll touch it up with the iron anyways. So I just put this on here to get it tacked down, hit it with the heat, and then I do all the legs with the actual iron. Probably was a little generous with the solder paste on this one. But it's okay, we got solder wick and I know how to use it. Dig into my box of CPUs. Some brand new 1769s here. What's up, everybody? What's up, Ben? First rest. Oh, Scott's in here. What's up, Scott? Yeah, I see you're doing all sorts of fun stuff with jerk and junction deviation and whatnot right now. Wait, I thought I had 2. Oh, I know, there were 3 in here. Okay. All right. So I know the NXP logo's got to go to the left. It's whatever. I can never get these on correct the first try. So we get them close enough and then... And make sure all 4 sides have their pins lined up. Oh my god, it's not moving uniformly. I am not on my game today, apparently. Come on. How long is it going to take Tim to place a CPU on the pad correctly? I'm actually kind of getting frustrated right now. Jesus Christ. Hang on. All right. We're almost there. There we go. Okay. Jesus. That one made me work for it. Like I said, all this extra solder paste, I'll get this all wicked up. Ah, it fucking walked on me. God damn it. Hang on. All right. Woo! I'm going to drag solder it now. I usually just use the heat gun, and it usually will go right to the pads. But for some reason, this one didn't. I need a beer. You know what? Hang on. My wife didn't like this stuff, so I was like, fine, I'll drink it. This is like the most girly wine I've ever seen in my entire life. Neil. Yeah, these are your boards. I told you I was working on them tonight. I was not lying. How did my bad USB boards turn out? Do I have those? I got a couple other boxes. I got this, David. I don't have yours. They might be at our PO box. That wine's pretty good. All right. I'm assuming there's some sort of he said there was something with the wires rubbing. One of them had the bed temp, or the bed temp was all screwed up. And the other one, the hot end just maxed out, so they had shorts. They weren't bad where the CPUs had holes in them, as you guys saw, but enough of a short into them to make them not read correctly. It's a sweet. It's really sweet. All right, so let's drag these. And I am going to look at my screen, or I am going to look at it instead of through the scope. Yeah. Yeah, usually just swapping the CPU will fix it. I cannot wait to get my new iron. Actually, let me see if I've got a better tip. You guys were saying conical tips, and I totally forgot. I have other tips for this iron. I do. I've got all sorts of tips here. Let's change the tip. Let's change it up. Just the tip. We're gonna change just the tip. I think these will fit my Hako. Let's see. How is this one going? Those are pretty big. Do I have any other tips in here? Let me check my other drawer. Oh, these are huge. See if I have a smaller one. No, it's either gonna be the conical one or... How big is this one? No, I'm gonna actually stick with the conical one because I just realized these are all pretty big. But I got a new iron coming, so I'm not gonna bother. I have smaller tips and curved tips coming for the new Hako. Oh wait, I was wondering why this wasn't soldering. I turned it off. I was like, this is not melting very well. How's the company doing with everything going on? Sales are good. Inventory is hard to come by, but I'm doing my best to make sure we have parts for everybody. I just ordered like 10 grand worth of Meanwhile power supplies, so we got a couple months supply. We got stuff coming in. I actually have to order inventory tonight too. And there will be some changes in terms of support and everything. But I'll save that for another video. It's all good things happening. We're getting things more organized here. I literally spent most of this week writing documentation for all our internal stuff. Yeah, it helps to have your iron on. All right, so what I'll usually do, you can see here, like this one here got moved a little bit. But I'll go in and just make sure that they're not all touching, because that won't work. and then I'll come in with a solder wick and get these little blobs off the ends here. But you can see that pin did skew a little, but it doesn't matter. It's making contact. Yeah, so like this pin right here, if you see, I hit it with the iron and it moved a little bit. I mean, I'm kind of anal about it, so maybe I'll try to push it back a little. There we go. All right, so, and I'll usually drag the excess solder to one end, and then I'll hit that with the solder wick. This thing has got plenty of flux on it. I don't know if you guys can see it. There's just not a lot of smoke because I have the smoke absorber going. Safety first. Oh boy. All right. There we go. There you go. See, you get the excess off with the wick. And there's a million different ways you can do this. Everybody has their preference. This is just how I do it. Come on. The wick is getting saturated. Cut off a new end. No, these are only surface mount. There's no sockets. This doesn't happen too often considering, we've got like, well over 1,000 boards out here. This doesn't happen too often, and we tell people to be careful, but accidents happen, but at least we can fix them. There we go. And then plus you need a programmer too to do the bootloader on here. All right, so there we go. I just got to clean this. But you can see, now we'll check all the pins here. We'll zoom in. I got to move this down to get the range I need. Just check and make sure all the pins are soldered, okay? No bridges or anything. That looks good. I lost my CPU. There we go. All right, so let's check all these. Those all look good. I mean, that one cosmetically looks different. You can see there. Oh, there we go. But those are all good. Let's see here. Yeah, you can see that leg right here. I bumped it with the iron, but it doesn't matter because it's not touching anything else. This one right here. See, it got slightly bent, but it's making contact, but it's not bridging, so it's fine. Those all look good, no bridges. And these are all good. Okay, so move to the next board here. Same thing. Now, I can't remember which one was which I think this is the 1.0. Yeah, this is an older one. I think this is the one that had the bed damage to it. But the only thing it's hard to see anything on these. Let's see here. That focused. There we go. Yeah, so, but anyways, let's go ahead and do this one now. If it's stopping mid-print, you might want to check your card. See why. I haven't had any of them lock up, and if it's an SD, it's probably because the SD card is corrupted. Easy way to see, print over USB. See if it has any problems. If it doesn't, then it's your SD card. And new SD cards can be DOA too. Just because you got a new one doesn't mean that there's no issues with it. I've had many SD cards dead out of the box. Or fakes, depending on where you bought your SD card from. If you got it on Amazon and it's a SanDisk, there's a very good chance it's a fake. Unless you bought it from Amazon as the seller. That's why we don't do SanDisk, is because there's a ton of fakes out there, and I don't want to risk getting fake cards, especially for like our Pi kits and stuff. So I'm kind of just, you might not be able to see it, but I'm kind of like, not like stabbing the board, but kind of like moving it up and down real quick. Just to mix in the low melting point stuff with the normal stuff. What card do I use? I don't use SD cards on any of my printers. All of them have Octoprint hooked up to it. They all have the EZPi kits that we sell. Got like, I don't know, 30 of them, or more than that actually. I think we got like close to 40, because I've got like 33 machines in the Octo farm, and I got some that have them that aren't integrated yet. But I don't use SD cards at all when I'm printing. The only printer that has an SD card in it is the Kingroon, because it does not have an EEPROM, so it's literally just using the SD card for EEPROM storage, because it's got one of those crappy STM chips on it. All right. There we go. Go ahead and get all the low melting point stuff off. And my wick's getting saturated. All right, if you guys are paying attention, what's the next step? What's the next step before we go? I'm gonna have some wine. Yeah, there we go. Nope, not solder paste. Yeah, we gotta clean it. Replace the board with an SKR one. Well, I would not. I would like to, our customers have something that works longer than a month. So I'm not going to do that to them. No, I won't bore you with the actual cleaning of the boards and the firmware flashing because it's really boring. I literally just hook some cables up. But I figured the soldering is interesting, so that's why I do the streams. Once it's out of warranty, I really applaud you that you have faith in their quote warranty. If you guys have seen ANET's new website, their printers all come with a 12 moth warranty. So just so you guys know, there's going to be another video coming, probably this weekend. These are all Big Tree Tech boards, so to all the people that said that we faked the Barney video where the SKR was dead on arrival, here's 3 brand new ones, all still sealed. This box did not have tape, but the board's still sealed, so spent like $120 on crappy boards just to make a video showing everybody who's wrong. So, all right, I think the optimal soldering apex is 2 glasses of wine. I ended up just hiding the guy from our channel, but he was like, it's obviously obvious that you guys staged the MOSFET failure on the SKR. It's like, really? Like, I don't have time for that shit. I do not want to be swapping out the SKR on that printer. I really wanted it to work so I could have a working machine, but... oh yeah, we have our own ball bearing fans now. Look at that. They even have our logo on them. Look how professional. 12 and 24. And they're standard dimensions. And ball bearings, if I didn't mention that already. Those will be taking over in the place of the ones we have now. They're about the same price, and they're all ball bearings, so hell yeah. I actually am going to be able to come down on the price on the 24-volt ones, because I can get these for cheaper than the ones we're using. The ones we're using are great, they were just expensive. Alright, solder paste. Hang on, let me get this done. Alright. What's solder paste? 247 solder, low temp. It's a low melting point. What is it? 278 Fahrenheit? Or 137 C? Are they rebrands? They're made by another company. I don't have the capability to make my other... I don't have the capability to make custom, like, as in every little part is ours. But I reached out to a company that we've been using fans from for a couple years. And spec'd out size, voltage, airflow, all that fun stuff. And that's how we have our own fans. So... Alright, so learning from the last one. So look, I just dropped that one on there. Got pretty close, so let's go ahead and poke it. Place. I got that in place way quicker. I think it's the wine. All right. Damn, scope is getting in my way. All right, I'm pretty damn happy with that. When will these fans... Yeah, I'm drinking the wine you said you didn't like, Samantha. When will these fans be available? They're just going to take over our existing stock. So once we sell through, I will update the product photos eventually. But we don't have any like labels on any of the pictures of our fans. So these will just take over our existing 50-15 stock and the 40-10. I just have layer fans with our own brand right now. Eventually, all of our fans will be our own in-house brand. So yeah, she said she didn't like it, but you're a little too late. I have to ping our shop manager, Aaron, but I think he was waiting for me to tell him to go ahead. We don't need to update the product photos right away because they're still 24 volt 50-15 fans. They do the same thing, the same specs. I am going to have to update the specs because they are slightly different. But they're, at the end of the day, they're all good fans that do the same thing that our current gen ones do. But I will take photos because I want to show off our fancy label. We're fancy now with our own label. Yeah, we have 12s. I think I got... Hang on, let me check my invoice. Hang on. Let me see here. I think it was this one. Nope, that's screens. That's not from that vendor. Which is the vendor? All right, how many did I order? I've got 100 of the 12 volt 50-15s and 250 of the 24 volts. Obviously, demand on the 24 volts is higher than the 12s. So I will have them stock those. Or actually, I'll stock them later tonight, and I'll just change the product page for the new specs, and I'll update the photos later. It's still a 15 still a 50-15 fan. Now that you had a flux, just hit it with the hot air. All right, well, let's see how this goes. All right. We'll try it. If not, I can always do the solder. Solder iron. This paste does have flux in it, though. Let's see. Will this work? Because this is low melting point solder paste. Let's see. Save me a lot of time. Now see, because I put a little too much on, I'm getting some bridging. Without a stencil, it's kind of hard. You can see some are bridging. So if you see here, see some of them bridged. But yeah, I mean, if I get the right amount of solder paste, then yeah. Yeah, we're finalizing that. Apparently the screws we have for the other LCDs we sell, the other LCD conversion kits, they're too short. So, all right, not a big deal. We can just literally Magic. Look at that magic. You like that? The only place for an iPhone is in the trash. There I got a bridge. Bring it back. See, it like snaps. Once you get the feel of it, it's pretty easy. So this side doesn't look too bad. So like if I didn't go nuts with the thermal paste, or I had a stencil, or not the thermal paste, but the solder paste, or if I had a stencil to apply it, I could definitely just use a hot air, but I'm not that fancy. I don't have a stencil for these boards. All right. If you notice, the solder like wants to go towards the iron. It flows. What flux? MG Chemicals No Clean. So if you see here, put the wick on. Cleans it right up. All right, those look good. Is that flux, or is that a bridge in the back? That's flux. There we go. And we're saturated. Go ahead and get a new tip. Yep. All right. Looking good, just this last side here. Y'all can hate on my conical tip here, but I just did a fucking 100-pin package conical tip. So come at me, bro. Look at that. Look at those beautiful solders. Look at that. You know, once I clean these boards, once I get all the flux off here, it's really hard to tell that they've ever been fixed. Like, they look like brand new once they're all clean and everything. Like, if you looked under a microscope, you might be able to, like, I think that was replaced, but just by the naked eye, it is really hard to tell. But look at, no bridges. Everything's making contact. All lined up correctly. There we go. All right. So, let me show you guys something else I have. So that's, I'm not going to bore you guys with flashing, like the bootloader on these. It's just, I'll clean the boards and do that offline. But I do want to show you guys something just to let you know that, the board that I had to replace the IC, are you talking about the 2596? Run away from the 5 Plus. The 5 Plus is not bad if you replace the PSU and the extruder. Those are like the two crap points on it. Is Simplify 3D worth the money? If you got 150 bucks to blow that you won't miss, then yes, I think it is. I don't want to have a discussion. Use whatever slicer you guys want. My personal opinion is I've been using S3D for almost 3 years now, and I wouldn't go back. It works. Does it have all the latest cutting edge features? No, it doesn't. But in terms of being able to run it in production and get prints out, it works great. All right. So Look at this. Oh man, it's a Wi-Fi plug from China. Even got the Smart Life QR code. Except these are just the boxes that the factory I use shipped these to, or shipped them to me in. These are the second batch of prototypes for the EZBoards, and if you notice, the top came off because these are prototypes. I did not have them seal these for me because I want to be able to get access to the chip. So let me show you guys what's going to be in these plugs because I like to brag about what we have. And these are just decent quality plugs. And they have a 10 amp relay in them. I'm changing my camera so I can adjust the focus for you guys. So these are this is the inside. It's really clean. They got Chinese caps, but they're decent name caps. And then, actually, let me go over the scope here. So I have 10 of these, which means I'm going to keep some for internal use, but I am going to post out information in our Facebook groups and stuff, seeing if anybody wants to test them once I get the documentation ready, because I want to make sure that you guys are able to set them up. Okay, so inside here, there's a little ESP8266 chip. That's what this little chip on this board is here. Do you see that? Okay, and there's a button for the on-off, and if you press and hold, it'll reset. So now this one is the upgraded one. So you see that chip, that 8-pin chip in the center right here? That's for the power monitoring. So this is the plus version of the plug. This has a chip in it that actually does power monitoring. So it'll tell you how much voltage is going in, how many amps you're using, that kind of stuff. So you can actually see the power usage on your printer. Now, there's another version of this that's going to be a couple bucks cheaper that does not have the power monitoring. They use the same exact board. The difference between the plus and the non-plus is that chip and a couple other parts are not on the PCB, so it's a couple dollars cheaper. But here's what I know you nerds want to see. So, got a decent quality 10 amp relay. You know, I like being transparent about our stuff. So, we've got a 10 amp relay that'll handle 10 amps at 250 volts. So, that will be more than enough for any printer, unless you have like a specialized one. But for those of you that hack now, these will be sealed. Okay, so these are not going to ship unsealed. These are only my ones, and then what I'm going to do is I will, if I do send them out to people, I'm going to seal them. But if people do want to hack them, like I know some people, all the I/O pins are labeled on here, on this side and the other side. So the I/O pins that are broken out on the PCB, they're all on there. And if you notice, let me focus this in here. If you notice here, the RX and TX pins are broken out. And if you see down there, IO0, so there's your IO0 pin, there's another pin there. And then this has got the 8285 ESP on here. So this is like the 8266. 8266 can be the 8285. I think there's another one, the 80-something 55. There's two versions of this Wi-Fi chip that's used in the 8266s, but for all flashing purposes, this is an 8266. But they're nice little outlets. They got your standard PCB antenna. They're 2.4 gigahertz. Like I said, like I went over these, like the soldering works pretty decent. You know, for a cheap plug, these are pretty decent. And if you notice here, these are all low ESR caps. And I did actually desolder these from the first run I got and tested them, and they are actually low ESR caps. So these aren't like Rubicons or anything, but these are actually decent quality caps. I like the build quality of this. Like I said, obviously, it could always be better, but for the price point we're hitting, I'm very happy with how these are coming out. You see there's a little voltage regulator there for the ESP board. And then this actually jumps over for the relay here. So this is actually the I/O for the relay, this little board here. Can they be flashed with ESP Home? Yes, technically, but I will be shipping them with Tasmota. So if I plug this in, it actually should have our firmware on. So let me see if I get the EZBoards SSID. I just plugged it in. Okay, so it's looking for the Wi-Fi, and boom, it says Easy Plug. So now I'm going to figure out how to change this in the next release, but I'll show you guys here. So let me switch over my main monitor. Okay, so I plug this plug in. You can see here, Easy Plug. If I connect, now hopefully the stream doesn't dip out. So this is my computer trying to see. But you go to 192.168.4.1. And like I'm saying, I'm hoping that they flashed these firmware on here correctly. I'm assuming they did because I'm showing EZBoards. So I sent them the binary file to flash onto these. And it should be 4.1. Did my computer not connect? Hang on, change connection property. Nope, that's not what I want. I want network and sharing center. Where the hell is network and sharing center? Here it is. Easy Plug. Did I get an IP? Oh, it's going 244.1. What the hell? 192.168.24. I can't type apparently. There we go. So it's built on Tasmoda. I've got my own little customizations to the UI. Okay, so I'm gonna type in my password and SSID. So this is what you do. You'll get it. You'll hit the IP address. Put in your SSID for your 2.4. Hit save. Okay. Now, what I want to see is what IP it grabbed. So I'm going to go ahead and scan with Advanced IP Scanner. Now, if I press the button, the relay should toggle. Yep. Okay, so they did use my firmware. Now, this should show up on my network. Should show, here we go. You see it right here? Easy Plug. So it's on 124. 172.16.21 at 124. Now, this firmware does not have the power monitoring configured. So, but it still does the on-off for the relay. Now, I got to send them the firmware for these ones with the power monitoring, because the first order I did, it didn't have the power monitoring. So you can see here, on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off. It's clicking. But what I have to do is actually configure the template for the power monitoring chip that's on here, which is supported in Tasmoda. But let's see here. I think I know. So I can configure the template. I got to look up the I/O pins. So hang on, let me switch, because I got to go into my private documentation and shit here. I have it documented here. Where the hell is it? I got to go back in my chat conversation, because they sent me all the I/O pin configurations for this. So, but you guys are going to be able to get plugs from us, whether you use them for your printer or if you guys are home automation people, that aren't going to require you to screw around with like Tuya Convert or soldering on. It's going to have open source firmware on it out of the box. So I know a lot of people will like that. I spent a lot of money on this camera so you can see my beard hairs, okay? Let me see here. God, I'm going back so long. I thought I saved it, but apparently I didn't. Wait, did I? Hang on, let me open my development folder here and see if I can get the I/O pins correctly so I can show you the power monitoring. What the hell, Tim? I got an Easy Plug folder for the development files, but apparently I didn't save the data sheet that they sent me on the PCB and everything for this particular plug. Where the hell is it? Here it is. I got it. Okay. And of course, it's all in Chinese. Let me save that so I have it. All right. So here's the data sheet, and you can see the module pinouts here, all the I/O pins and everything. But I gotta translate it. So you can see it's 0937. If I use Google Translate, you can see here's all the GPIO pinouts. I'm gonna make my own, so people that do want to hack it have that. But this is the info they sent me. So, but I gotta use Google Translate to see which one it is. Okay. Okay, so GPIO 4 is the CR, CF is 5, and the SEL is 12. All right, so for 0907 CF, okay, CF is 5, okay. So it's the 0907, the BL, 0907 CF. And then 4 is the CR. And this will all be hard-coded, so you guys won't have to do any of this. This is literally me just doing some testing really quick. The cell is on 20, or 12, I mean. Cell, SEL. And then it's got the CR. What is the CR data? Is there a CR data for the monitoring here? I don't think there was. All right, well, let's see if I get energy statistics. Any thoughts on having it made in the US? I don't know a single company that can make all these parts in the US and keep it like, I don't know, it would have to be like $50 or $60. So, all right, let me activate that template. Let's see. I'll play with this offline if I don't get the energy statistics. Oh, hey. All right, let's plug something into it. Let's see if it got a phone. Although there's nothing plugged into said phone charger. And I might have to play with the I/O pin settings. I have not tried this until literally right now. All right, let me plug my phone in to this charger. Oh, hey, look at that. 14 watt. Okay, so that's working. All right, so I just need that other pin here, which is 4. Where's the CR configuration? I gotta look at those. I was thinking it was SHW33 or SH331W, because this had the same. This had the same pinouts, or the same. These are those plugs I bought off Amazon that I hacked, and I liked them. And these have the same. The ones we're gonna sell have the same exact power monitoring chip because it worked really well. What is the site for the Tasmoda template? Tasmoda template. Black adder, that's what it was. Okay, hang on. Switches and relay, plugs and sockets. This has the same chip. So they got okay, so I gotta set the CF. I thought it was SEL and the CF. So HLWB1 CF1. Okay. So that's on 4. CF1. Let's see. I should get some more statistics here. And I'm going to have to probably calibrate these because you see the voltage here is 0. So it's off, on, unless, you know what, they might be inverted. I'm wondering if they're inverted. But this is all stuff I can do offline. Let's see. Let's see. I do have to calibrate the power factor. Or not the power factor, but the wattage for the 110. Configure template. Hang on, I need to look at my pinout translation here where, oh. It got rid of it. Wait. Oh, it's on my other screen now. Okay, so SEL is on 12. Oh boy. Hang on. SEL is on 12. And obviously inverted is not what I want. 5 is the current voltage and current detection, so that should be the CF. Energy statistics is CF1. The only option I have for the CF on there. Unless, hang on. I'll have to pull the data sheet on this chip. Okay, so that is pulling the power. Like I said, these are still prototypes. Yeah, it's got to get calibrated. Okay, so see how the voltage is off and the current's way off? I got to calibrate it. So this looks like the correct pin configurations here. However, the calibration is off. So if I like plug in, let me see. So those are the correct pinouts too, since we're getting statistics, but I need to plug in something I know what the wattage is. So I got an old school light bulb here. Set this on my silicone mat. It's gonna get hot. Off. Okay, so it's off. Here, I'll put the light in view so you guys can see. All right, let me toggle it on. There we go. And the energy statistics are going to be completely off, as you can see. Power, or the wattage is a little bit off, not too bad. So I just need to go and calibrate in the firmware. That's all. Power factor, I mean, it's a resistive load, so it should be close to 1. So I just have to set the calibration. So there we go, power monitoring calibration here. So here, 60 watt incandescent light bulb. Let's see here. I'll hit console here. So there's 60 watts. The amps are not reading correctly. And this will all be pre-programmed, so nobody will have to go through all this. So if I turn that off here, obviously the current is off. Do I have my clamp meter? I do. Okay, so we're pulling 0.49 amps, about 0.5. And milliamps, so that'd be 500. Oh, not 50. 500. Okay. So there we go. Now if I plug something else into it, like a phone charger, let's see, what are we getting here? Yeah, that's off. It's not reading this correctly. I'm wondering if I have, if this needs to be the CF1. Anyways, I won't bore you guys with this stuff. This is all stuff I do on my own. But the calibration is going to be all off now. Yeah, these are all going to be pre-tested. I got to get all the firmware done for them. Yeah, so, but these are using the 0937. That's a CF. Yeah. That might not work. Anyways, this is all stuff I will do on the back end to get these plugs ready, but this is something we are working on, just in case anybody was wondering, because I have talked about them here. This should just be CF, because according to my data sheet here, oh wait, CF inverted as a 5. Hang on, I missed that. Yeah, CF is inverted. Is there an inversion option? There's not. All right, well, I have more stuff to work on. Let's see if this works, unless it's CF1. Yeah, because I'm not getting voltage statistics if you look. Configuration, template. So I'm going to assume this is supposed to be CF1. Unless, hang on, does this have to be inverted? Hey! Okay, I have more statistics now. Okay. That might have been it. Alright, so I know with the light bulb, obviously my calibration's off right now. I just plugged the light bulb into it, so the power, that's doing correct. Okay, so voltage set. Voltage set nope. Voltage set 120. Current set 500. Okay. Altimeter's yelling at me. Hey! That's looking correct now. Because my phone is fully charged, which means it's not going to be pulling that much. My phone is on now. Let's see. If I unplug this from my phone, does it drop off? Yes, it does. Okay, that might be it. What else do I have that I can plug? I got my hot air gun. Let's see. Yeah, it does not take into account the power it uses, but it's so minuscule it doesn't even matter. This is just monitoring the voltage and everything. So if you see here, if I turn this off, the voltage should go to 0. There you go. But the basic plug will not have the power monitoring. They'll do the same exact thing, except one has power monitoring, one doesn't. So I'm going to turn that off, but then I'm going to toggle it on. So here's my heat gun. Now it's on, as you can hear. This tiny one. I actually got to put a kilowatt on here. Because I'm not sure how much power this actually pulls. This might seem about correct. Does this have on here? Oh yeah, 320 watts. So that might be... Where's my kilowatt? So the thing is, I have to get the firmware settings correct so you guys get the correct voltage reading. I don't know where my little kilowatt device is, which is what I use for power calibration. I guess I could... break the wires out on my heat gun here, because they're just like the pressed together ones. They're linked, so hang on. I can verify with my Klein then. So I've separated the two wires here. And I have not exposed any of the mains, so that's good. See what my Klein says I'm pulling in terms of AC current here. 2.47 amps. 2.46, so we're pretty damn close, so there we go. And my Klein's reading 1.39. Yeah, that's damn close. Alright, so that's the correct configuration for this, so that's all working. Hey, look at that, I figured it out on stream. So I just got to build this into the firmware then, all these default settings for the calibration for the voltage, the amps, all that other fun stuff. So, and these will be pre-calibrated for US voltage, not for international. So sorry to the guys at international, these will be a US only item. But there we go. I'll just have to note these down so I can get the firmware set up to put these all in by default. Because this works. There we go. Just take a screenshot of that for my pin configs. Bam. So yeah, so we'll have two outlets. One will be the easy plug, and the other one plus. So the plus will have the power monitoring, and the regular one will not. They'll both be able to turn your printer on and off, but for your nerds that like statistics, the plus will have the power monitoring support on here. So yeah, that's all she wrote. So I've got 10 of these here. I got 5 of the normal ones, 5 of the plus ones. I don't know if this is a plus or a regular. Let me see. That's a plus because it's got the power monitoring. Grab another one because they were supposed to send me 5 of the plus and 5 of the regular. Oh, there's a regular. Okay. So you can see here the regular. Remember I was showing you guys the chips. See how that IC is not populated there? And there's also stuff on the other side of the board. So this is the normal plug that's just on off, no power monitoring. They look the same. It's the same exact casing. The difference is how many chips they put on the board. So, but that's about it. So we're moving along with this. Once I get the firmware done for the plus plug, which is what I was just doing a couple minutes ago, and then complete some more testing, then we will have our own smart plugs that ship with Tasmota on them. It will be our own flavor, but you can put regular Tasmota on there if you want. I will have all the documentation on this on the GitHub for this product. So if you want to use regular Tasmota, you can literally set up your own template parameters and use your own build of Tasmota if you want. So my coffee's gone. Does anybody have any questions? Because once I'm done on here, I'm going to go and take these boards outside, clean all the flux off, flash the bootloader, and then do the electrical testing, and then get these back to Neil. Because, Neil, if you're still watching, those are your 2 boards that you sent in. So, also, I've been coughing a lot today. Hopefully I don't have the coof, as the quartering refers to it as, or the human malware. I left the fan on, like my ceiling fan, on in the bedroom last night while I was sleeping, and it dried out my sinuses really bad. So, I can't do that, Tyler, because that would require it to be in place. You can't lose what you didn't have. So I can't stay something I'm not. Yeah, I get allergies, and we literally live like, here, let me show you guys. So here's ARM Cam 2. Hang on, let me put it back in autofocus mode. Automatic. So move, hang on. There we go. So that's my backyard. It's literally, I know, my window's fucking dirty. It's all woods. Okay? There's a TH3D shop over there to the right. Shop. But yeah, we're like, there's just woods all on our property, so allergies, oh, they're getting great right now. So, Robbie, Mac, I did get those boards. I appreciate it, and the screens and all that other stuff. So, you have a ring. You have a ring. You have ring a portal in your yard. No, it's my light. But yeah. Oh, look at Woot's got a touch control table lamp with 2 USB ports for 33% off. Okay, I actually kind of like this. Okay, we have like these style lamps in our living room that have like 1 USB port, but these have outlets on them. I feel like this is worth 26 bucks. Look at that. We're just kind of going off on a tangent here, but 26 bucks. And it's got adjustable light. You can actually dim them. Ooh. Ooh, okay, they have my attention. I was kind of being just funny by saying that, but this is actually kind of legit. Because the ones in our living room, they're like, they have 1 USB port on them. They're the same kind of style, but they've been knocked over by the cats so many times that they're just kind of on their last legs. I might actually order 2 of these. Just because they have like the plugs for like power outlets for like the laptop and stuff. What do you guys think? You guys think that's a good buy? Anyways, ask your questions now because I'm going to wrap this stream up so I can go clean these boards, get the bootloaders flashed, and then clean up my work area. I'm probably going to do, I don't know when, I don't know what time, more than likely tomorrow at some point I will be doing the video with the SKR boards. So, yeah, they remind me of hotel lamps. I love them. Like they got the outlets on them. I'm all over stuff like that. It's super practical. Where's the dog? Right there, passed out. Clara! Come here. Come here. Come on. We got low ears. There we go. Hi. Oh, you're gonna spill my wine. Oh god. There we go. There we go. Okay. You guys wanted the dog. Here's the dog. I know. You're still booting up. Does anybody have any other questions? Chiron firmware. My Chirons are still in the box. Well, one's mine, one's Phil's, but that's on my next to-do list. Hi. Hi. What are you doing? What? Can I have a kiss? Can I have a kiss? No? Wow, I just got denied. Holy cow, she's gotten big. Yeah, she's like 75 pounds already. So, anyways, please don't message us asking about getting in on the testing of the EZPlugs. I think I'm going to do some giveaways with them for the prototypes. So, just to be clear, these are prototypes, meaning that they're going to be glued shut by me. I'm just literally going to super glue them shut after everything's working. And they will not have branding on them. So, but I would like to get these plugs into people's hands. And Neil Lehman, yes, they will work with the Octoprint Tasmota plugin. So even if you don't have any home automation stuff, your printer's Octoprint setup will be able to talk directly to the plug over your Wi-Fi. So the goal is plug it in, you connect with your phone or your laptop, you put in your wireless info, it connects to your network. It'll get an IP address. You put that IP address into the Octoprint plugin, and then you can control your printer. So, meaning, if a print's done, it'll shut off by itself. If a thermal runaway event happens, like if you have an SKR board and your MOSFET fails because they're using fake chips and they fail in the on position, it can actually then cut the printer off and save it from burning your house down. So, yeah, Tyler, you drove with Cody here when she was like 8 weeks old and she was like, I don't know, 15 pounds. She was like the same size as our cats. I know you got one of these you got a puppy from another litter, but from the same dad. They're good dogs. Shepherds are really smart. Too smart for their own good a lot of times. But she's a good dog. She's also pretty. Hi. Now she's being needy. Because Samantha is gone. Don't lick my vape. Huh. Samantha's gone until Sunday. So Miss Clara is Samantha's dog. Like, she likes me, but she loves Samantha. Hi. Yes, I see you. Oh, yeah, just rubbed it here. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Oh. Does that feel good? But she still has not figured out that she's heavy. I think I got a fake one because mine's scared of a camera and a balloon. A fake one of what? A dog? Claire's afraid of boxes, which we have a lot of boxes around here. She's still kind of tired if you guys can't tell. So anyways, the shepherded. Yeah, they're good dogs. Oh. We got a toy, guys. Sit. Speak. Come on. Shake. No, shake. One paw. My door's open, so I threw it into the garage. When will they be out of the prototyping phase? In a couple of weeks. Unless I have any issues with them. I've already been testing the first two that I got. So I'm pretty confident in them. I just want to make sure all the power calibration settings are correct. So those are, you know, as dead nuts as I can have them. And then I have to write a ton of documentation. Well, not a ton, but I have to write documentation to tell you guys how to connect them, do a video, etc. So, but anyways, I don't know about that, Michael. GSDs are pretty great. They're a good universal dog. They can be a great family dog, and they can also be a great guard dog and screw people up. So she is so strong, it's ridiculous. But yeah, so I literally have a box of these. I don't know what we're going to do for packaging. I might just have them ship them in these standard generic boxes. And then we put a sticker on them or something. I haven't decided yet. These boxes I like, but they've obviously got the branding, so maybe I can have them send us blank boxes. Ideally, I'd like to be able to send them a template and be able to like mark them like, you know, the plus or the regular, that kind of stuff. Ugh. What about taking that circuitry and putting it inside the box of printer? I don't want people touching mains voltage. The whole point of these plugs, okay? Obviously, you can get Wi-Fi plugs anywhere. The whole point of these plugs is, one, has open source firmware on it. You don't have to use the Smart Life app. So that Smart Life app, if they flash it with the Tuya firmware, it has to talk back to a Chinese server. This is 100% locally controlled, meaning it doesn't talk to our servers. It doesn't talk to China servers or Amazon or Google's. It is 100% local control. So there's zero chance of it hijacking your network or doing things it shouldn't. And all of the source code for the firmware is provided so you guys can audit it. The whole point is being able to control your printer's power that comes out of the wall by turning it on or off without touching any bare wiring for that high voltage wire. That's the entire point. So you guys have a safe way and an easy way to turn your printer on and off. You're not messing around with trying to hack the outlets. Like, there's a video on this channel showing you how to hack the outlets, and one of them got bricked. So, and the problem is, as the new versions of outlets come out, they find ways to block all these hacks and workarounds that people in the community figured out. And if you get outlets that are sealed, you have to break them open to flash them sometimes if the Wi-Fi flashing, like with Tuya Convert, doesn't work, which does happen quite frequently. I bought a pack of 4, and I was actually only get 2 of the 4 to flash. I had to open the other ones up, and then you're destroying the case. So the point is to have a outlet that has open source firmware on it, so you're not having to worry about, crap, am I going to actually be able to flash this? Like, does this have a new firmware, an old firmware? Because the newer firmwares, they lock you out, and they've been trying to lock you out from being able to flash these, whereas this is just going to come with an open source firmware out of the box. So there's no question of, can you hack this to use Tasmoda or ESP Home or whatever? The answer is yes, because we're not shipping this with a closed source firmware. How will they handle 240 volts? We're just not going to sell them outside of the US. All the parts inside are rated for up to 240, but I really don't want to be dealing with people who are using a converter to convert their outlet from the UK or whatever, the UK to the US, and then from the US to the UK for their printer. It's just going to be a US only item. Considering international sales are less than 20% of our revenue, I don't think we'll be doing one for 240. So, sorry to everybody who's international that's not in Canada, because these will work in Canada, because Canada runs on the same outlets that we have here in the US. But that's not to say I can't do it. The company that makes these does make a UK socket, Australian socket, all these other sockets. But for right now, I'm focusing on doing one thing and one thing well, and that's having a working plug. And then the only variation is going to be, do you want power monitoring or you just want on-off? Okay, so easy plug, on-off. Easy plug plus, on-off with power monitoring. So if you're a nerd, you want to see how much power your printer's pulling, you can do that. So that's kind of my logic. I don't like putting a million, like there's some companies that have like a million bajillion different options for like one item. I'd rather just give you guys one item that works instead of having to sit there and go, well, this one's 15, this one's 20, this one's 50. Well, what's the difference between them? Is it going to make a difference? No, I'm just going to make it simple. Do you want power monitoring or not? And that's it. That's literally it. They all do on-off. So, sounds like you should sell a pile of these. I would hope so. And I think this might be kind of us branching out into the home automation segment too, because I know a lot of people in the home automation community, and there's a lot of overlap between 3D printing and home automation. I think there's going to be a lot of overlap once people find out that we have these, that you can buy outlets from us that are pre-flashed with Tasmoda on them. I'm hoping that we can kind of break into that market a little bit more, because I can expand our product lineup to do a lot of home automation stuff, and I'm very familiar with all this stuff. So maybe there'll be a TH3D home automation instead of TH3D Studio. Maybe we'll start a separate company. I don't know. But I'm focusing on you guys, and I want you to be able to turn your printers on and off without having to touch mains wiring or deal with complicated flashing. So What happened to the automated blinds? They're working. Hey Google, close the blinds. Obviously, this camera doesn't know how to white balance, but it's slow. But look at, still working. I meant to do a video on this. I just haven't had time, to be completely honest. I think responding to customer tickets is way more important than me making a video about some blinds that connect. There we go. So they're quiet. I can't hear it moving. Yeah, it does take about, I don't know, 15 seconds to close it, but I now don't have to touch it. And this is running the same chip that's in these plugs. This is a little DIY project I did. And this is, I haven't hooked it up to the other windows yet. I have all the parts, but I don't have all the time. Look at that, look at. You see the acceleration? There's acceleration and deceleration values set in here, just like on your printer. Hey Google, open the blinds. It is the ultimate. It's really funny because I spend like 4 hours, okay? 4 hours doing this just so I don't have to spend like, what, 5 seconds to roll and unroll a blind. I don't know. It really has nothing to do with laziness. It's just being able to do stuff like this because I can. So you can see on right here. So there's a motor in there, and above that little box, and obviously I haven't hid the cable yet for powering it. There's ESP8266 with a motor driver, and then there's a motor, and then it's on the IKEA blinds. So total cost on all this, okay? $50 for automated blinds. Show me anywhere that you can get automated blinds for $50. Look at that, and I have the deceleration set. There we go. So you can see, I calibrated this all. Could you modify to do a movie screen projector? Absolutely. If you had a stronger stepper driver and a bigger motor, that's literally all it would take to change it. You could definitely make one to do a movie projector screen. So if you make a 3D printed thing that can mount the motor and then put the screen in there, absolutely. Yeah, so here's one thing that we do that's different from a lot of companies. A lot of companies will try to cover every possible market segment that's possible. And I'm looking at it here. So this is actually labeled with like their standard labeling. I don't think there's going to be anything on the back of these. There's just going to be our logo on the front here. So it'll say EZBoards on the front and have our logo. So these are, like I said, these are prototypes, so they're not logoed. But like on here, there's a QR code and all the certs and everything. But this actually does say 100 to 240. So the funny thing is, though, I think this is just a general plate they have on here, because this says max load 16 amps. These are 10 amp relays. So, but they do have 10 amp and a 16 amp variant. So like I said, these are prototypes. I literally just needed something to work with. But I want to focus on getting these done, and maybe we'll go into the UK. But the problem is, a lot of people from the UK, and you can see here on this box, they use this box for multiple different ones. You can see here, they make them for all these different country codes. Okay. The little hole is an LED indicator to tell you if it's on or off, and if it's in pairing mode, like when you first plug it in, it flashes to let you know that it's an access point mode. But during normal operation, if the LED is on, the outlet's on. If it's off, it's off. But in terms of the 240 stuff, I could do it. It's just I want to get this one perfected. And then once we do, then maybe we'll do the UK plug. But yeah, the UK plugs are giant because I got that big socket. It's wild. Technically speaking, though, those plug types are safer because they have such big plugs and fuses in the plugs and all the other stuff. The US, you're like, yeah, you can probably electrocute yourself because it makes contact before it's all the way in the socket. But hey, maybe you shouldn't be an idiot and touch the plug while you're plugging it in. I don't know. That was me acting like the people who designed the US plug standard. So, but yeah, so that's what I've been working on, aside from the board repairs you guys saw. So I mean, like, those of you guys that are wondering how things are going with all this stuff, basically the TLDR is things are still moving. Inventory is moving slower than normal. So to account for that, we're ordering more stuff and calculating like really long lead time. So to make sure we don't run out of product, we're upping our order quantities by 2 to 3 times. So we have extra buffer. So let's say, you know, a month from now, we're like, okay, we should probably reorder now. But then it takes a month and a half to get here, or 2 months, when our normal lead time is 2 to 3 weeks. We still have product to sell you guys so you can get the parts you need. So that's kind of where we're at right now with all this stuff. Inventory in. Going out, we've been doing well. My packing team, we got everybody, you know, motivated and, you know, pumped up, and we got 278 orders out yesterday. Think about that. 278 orders went out yesterday. We had to have USPS send 2 trucks. And I think the dog needs to go outside. I do have other things I need to get to, as much as I would love to sit here and chat. Maybe I will do another stream tomorrow or tonight. There will definitely be a stream tomorrow. I think I'm going to do the SKR boards tomorrow. I might do a casual stream tonight where we're just kind of hanging out like we're doing now, except with more drinking. So when are the Easy Plates back in stock? So we submitted our order to our supplier last week for the restock on those. I don't know when they're going to be in. They're probably going to take about a week to make the order we submitted. But in terms of them getting to us right now, air freight is extremely expensive, and sea freight's only like 5 to 6 days slower. So we're getting them shipped by sea to keep the cost down, because I don't want to push the price up anymore. But yeah, I also need to go work out tonight. I got my gym set up, so it's very basic. I have a heavy bag and a bench and a bar with weights, and then Samantha has her cardio bike thing. So I'm gonna go do that tonight. I worked out 2 days ago, so I'm gonna work out today. So my goal is working out every other day. I'm not giving up alcohol. I am cutting down on junk food though. So yeah, we'll see. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe 6 months from now, I'll be ripped. I have no idea. I could just be stronger and still fat, but I have no idea. We'll find out. I am not doing keto. If you guys think I'm ornery now, I did keto once. I lost a lot of weight. I also hated everybody and life, because when you go through keto, there's this period your body goes through, and you feel like shit. It feels like you're just sick, and you hate everybody. Like, it just makes you irritable, and this happens to a lot of people with keto. Because you're going into the ketosis, and it really makes you ornery. So if you guys think I'm bad now, whew, just wait. Just wait if I did keto. I'm not doing keto. I can't do that to everybody. Or my wife. All right, well, this was about right here when I started the stream, and now it's gone. She made it seem like this was like super, super sweet, because she's very particular about her wine sometimes, or just beverages in general. If they're super sweet, she can't do it. But this was not like overly sweet. This is actually pretty good. But yeah, anyways, let's see what we got going on. All right. Can EZBoard support sensorless stop? No. All the printers that our board supports have end stops, so you do not need sensorless homing. The 2209s do sensorless homing, and that's really the main difference between 2209s and 2208s, aside from some technical details. And since we have printers that take this board that have end stops, it is pointless to have sensorless homing. So we will eventually switch to 2209s on later boards, but there's no point right now. And we have to test that. I'm not going to pull a Big Tree Tech and just swap some parts out and hope for the best, and then let the customers eat all the cost of that. That's not how I do business here. 2208s have exactly, in terms of if we ignore sensorless homing, the 2208s and the 2209s do the same thing. That's the TLDR. There are technical details between them, like the 2209s run a little cooler. 2209s have a little bit higher constant current and peak current, but the current that they can support and the max current on the 2208s could burn out the Creality motors. So they're already overkill for the Creality. The 2209s are even more overkill, and that just leaves then sensorless homing. And I'm not concerned about heat at all because we actually designed our board properly. So it's a wash. There's just Google TH3D 2208 versus 2209. There's a whole page explaining why we have the 2208s. And the TLDR is because that's how we tested the board. I tested them with 2208s. We tested them with 2208s. Our engineer, all the people that tested them. If I change that chip out at the last minute, I can no longer say, honestly, that we tested this board for 10 months. It'd be a lie. Because if you change the core components on it, and those stepper drivers are core components, you have to start back at square one, unless you want to lie to your customers and say you tested it. That's where we're at. So we're trying to get prototypes in for the Pro board. So when the Pro board comes out, that'll have like dual extrusion, a bunch of other bells and whistles, and it's going to be more expensive than the current one. I'm going to tell you that right now. But we're going to do 2209, so we're going to use that board, test the 2209 platform, and then eventually we'll update the light to the 2209s. But right now, there's literally zero reason for the 2209s on the EZBoard, other than be able to tell other nerds online that, hey, well, I have 2209s in my printer. You peasant with your 2208s. No, it literally does not matter at the end of the day if you have 2208s or 2209s on a printer that has end stops and motors that don't use more than an amp or even an amp and a half. So, but, you know, people are bigger numbers, better. All right, how many people have watched? We have 73 people watch me talk about stepper drivers and drinking wine. What a world we live in. Amazing. Amazing. And Wi-Fi outlets. Wine, Wi-Fi outlets, soldering. Someone told me 10 years ago that I would have 70 people watching me talk about Wi-Fi outlets, wine, and stepper driver control, or stepper drivers, and soldering. I'd be like, you're nuts. But here we are. I'm just saying. So with that, I'm going to wrap this up. I need to eat some dinner. I don't know. I might come back. This wine's all gone. I do have a lot of beer. I don't know. I might take it easy tonight. I've been working late nights most of this week, so I might take it easy tonight. Yeah, and automated blinds. Don't forget the automated blinds. Because America is a place where we'll spend 8 hours building a project to save literally seconds of time. That's the reality with automated blinds. So spend like 8 hours building it and getting it all set up just to save a couple seconds every day. I don't know what the ROI on that would be. I'm assuming it's going to be years. I have a feeling the system will break before I get a return on my time investment. As you can see, the dog is getting needy. Hi. Hi. Yes, you are cute. You are also heavy. All right, guys. All right, well, Clara clearly wants my attention. You want my attention, dog? Oh, look at that. Okay. Well, I have a 70-pound shepherd in my lap. Everybody, thanks for joining in. And as always, excuse you. As always, happy printing. Say bye, Clara. Oh, I can't pull your leg up. Oh, God. Oh, you're heavy. End stream. Come on, click the button.